Hello, and welcome to Sound Of, the podcast where we explore the albums and soundtracks that have shaped not just the music landscape, but our personal lives as well. I'm Danny, your host on this auditory adventure. Today, we're diving into a soundtrack that marked really my first journey into the realms of heavy, goth, and industrial metal music. I mean, I'd heard 80s metal bands, the Guns N' Roses, Styx, stuff like that, but never this industrial goth music until I heard the soundtrack for the movie, The Crow. This album was more than just background music for a film. It was a gateway to a whole new sound universe for me. Dark, intense, and mesmerizing. So join me as we delve into how this iconic soundtrack blends with its film to create a powerful narrative, and sharing my personal discovery of the music that still resonates with me today. Now, before we dive into the heart of the Crow soundtrack, let me set the stage with a glimpse into the film itself. The Crow is a dark, atmospheric tale of love and vengeance beyond the grave. The story follows Eric Draven, a rock musician who is resurrected to avenge his and his fiance's brutal murders on the eve of their wedding. Guided by a mystical crow, Eric embarks on a relentless quest to bring justice to those responsible, moving through the rain-soaked, neon-lit streets of a city caught in the grip of corruption and decay. It's a film that blends elements of gothic horror, romance, and action, all set to a powerful soundtrack that amplifies the emotional depth and dark beauty of Eric's journey. Now, for the purpose of this this episode, I picked a few tracks from the soundtrack that really stuck with me, even after 30 years of it from its release. So let's go ahead and begin our journey with Burn by The Cure, where we're immediately enveloped in the haunting atmosphere of The Crow. It's kind of like standing on the edge of a dark, endless abyss, the first step into a world where every note and lyric paints a portrait of loss and love intertwined. Transitioning from this ethereal to the visceral, we encounter Nine Inch Nails' Dead Souls. It's as if we're walking through the shadowed streets of the city, feeling the isolation and despair that the film's protagonist, Eric, confronts. This song deepens the darkness introduced by The Cure, pulling us further into the narrative. Emerging from the shadows, we have Rage Against the Machine's Darkness, which strikes a chord of introspection. It's a moment of reflection within our journey, mirroring Eric's internal battle. The raw emotion in this track connects us to the heart of The Crow, where grief and rage coalesce. But even in the darkest night, there's a glimmer of light. Violent Femmes' Color Me Once brings a melancholy yet beautiful reprieve. It feels like finding an old photograph among the ruins or up in your attic or in the basement, a memory of a love that once was. This track adds depth to our story, highlighting the complexity of Eric's quest. Big Empty by Stone Temple Pilots seems to echo this in the aftermath of the storm. We're left in the silence that follows vengeance, contemplating the emptiness that accompanies justice. It's a poignant moment in our journey, one which leaves us to ponder the cost of the path we've walked. Of course, following the contemplative silence left by Big Empty is Jane Seabury's It Can't Rain All the Time, which weaves a thread of hope through the tapestry of the Crow soundtrack. This track, ethereal and tender, offers a soothing balm to the narrative wounds, embodying the film's message of healing and renewal. In the aftermath of darkness, it serves as a gentle reminder that grief is not an endless night. There is light, however faint, promising the dawn of new beginnings. Together, these tracks, with the rest of the soundtrack, form the backbone of The Crow. But they also guide us through a narrative rich with emotion and transformation, much like the film itself. Now that we've explored these tracks, it's clear that the Crow soundtrack is not just a collection of songs, but a narrative companion to the film. Each track serves as an emotional extension of the story, deepening our connection to Eric's world. The symbiotic relationship between the soundtrack and the film elevates the experience, making The Crow a timeless masterpiece. Director Alex Proyas envisioned a world where every element, including music, amplified the gothic, surreal atmosphere he was creating. Proyas sought tracks that would resonate with the film's theme of love, loss, and vengeance. Of course, the tragic death of Brandon Lee, the film's star, during production, added a layer of poignancy to the project, making the soundtrack's darker, introspective tracks even more impactful. This synergy between the soundtrack and the narrative helped solidify The Crow as a cult classic, with music and film intertwined in the collective memory of its audience. Now here's a little fun fact. Did you know that 9 Inch Nails weren't the first choice to cover Dead Souls for the Crow soundtrack? Initially, the band New Order was approached to contribute a version of their hit, Love Will Tear Us Apart, as a tribute to their Joy Division roots. However, when plans changed, 9 Inch Nails stepped in to deliver their iconic rendition of Joy Division's Dead Souls, adding a unique industrial twist to the gothic landscape of the film's music. This switch not only highlighted Trent Reznor's deep respect for Joy Division, but also offered a serendipitous fit that perfectly complemented the film's dark aura. So in wrapping up our exploration of the Crow soundtrack and its cinematic counterpart, we've journeyed through a landscape where sound and vision coalesce into a poignant narrative of grief, love, and revenge. This album, emblematic of a deeper connection to our own experiences of loss and hope, reminds us that music is more than just background noise. It's a gateway to the soul of a story. So as we part ways, remember, it's not just about listening, it's about feeling the music. Let it move you until we meet again. This is Sound Up.